Hi folks, and welcome back to Blackbeard's Detailed YouTube channel. My name's Ross, and today what I'm going to be doing is reviewing my Kranzle HD10-122 TS. This is also known in the American market as the 1322 and the 1622. This is an absolute integral, essential part of my kit. It gets used every single day. I've owned it for, that's approaching on 2 years now, and I shudder to think how many hours work this machine's actually put in. It's never let me down once. I've also used it at home for doing my pressure washer on the front driveway, pressure washer on my back patio and decking, etc. And again, it's never let me down. So the TS that I mentioned on the model number stands for total stop. What that means is when the machine's turned on, it's obviously connected up to the water supply, power supply. Once the machine itself is actually pressurised, depending on the pressure setting you put it to, it should only turn on when you press the trigger button on the lance. One of the benefits of that is you don't have the noise running constantly, the machine going in the background. The wear and tear in the motor is much less because it's only turned on when you're actually demanding that pressure to come through the lance, and it should also save you some on your electricity bill. The one downside to it when you don't have the TS function is when it's running it is rather noisy. It's a naked machine. As you can see, there is no padding and sound insulation through it at all. So if you're using this at home, you might bother some neighbours if it's on constantly and it doesn't have the TS function. So the operating pressure in this goes from 30 to 120. It's really easy to adjust. It's just a matter of turning this mechanical knob on the side of it, and you can see the pressure dipping down, of course, when you're pressing the pressure on the trigger. There's quite a bit of scope for adjustment on it, so it's really easy to fine tune. There is, again, a lot of people might be thinking 120 bar, that's not a great mount, etc. But the big thing with this is it's 120 bars of pressure, but the flow rate's so high. This particular machine is 10 litres per minute. You can get another version which is 7 litres per minute. The main advantage of the 7 litre one is the motor runs slightly slower speed. Some people might argue you get a bit extra longevity in that, but if your water supply can't cope with 10 litres per minute, then of course you're going to need to go for the lower machine. The best way to check that is get an empty 2 litre container, put it up to your tap, turn it on as full as you can, time how long it takes to fill it, times that by 5. Simple enough, easy. If you're over 10, then you should be able to run this. Bear in mind, if you live in a busy household and there's people in showers, washing machine, dishwashers on, that water pressure might drop down, so be cautious of that because it might damage the motor. Now, this particular machine comes with a 5 metre power cable. The power cable itself seems very, very, very robust. It's quite thick. It's not too rubbery, it seems kind of hard rubber. It's not that soft rubber that picks up all horrible bits of stones and dust. The particular connector in this is the UK connector. Obviously, if you're going to be buying it in the States or elsewhere in Europe, then it will come with your particular connector you need. The protection point going into the plug is very, very hard wearing. It's quite difficult to move, which again will protect the cabling going into the plug, prevent that from getting damaged. Quite like that. The actual hose connection cable itself is a 10 metre hose. It's a screw-in type fitment. Again, it just screws into the front as such and turns round. There is quite a bit of thread on this. Again, not a problem for me because my machine stays down, lives in my unit. It's bolted down onto the floor to prevent anybody from lifting it. And yeah, that is on absolutely rock solid. It's the same connection on the other end, which of course goes on to the lance. This again has had 2 years of use. I never put it away dirty, I never put it away wet, always give it a wipe down with an old microfiber before putting it away. I've added another 10 metre extension on the other side of it, which is not Kranzle brand and is already starting to show signs of wear and tear. Wearing through it, and you can see some of the metal braiding go through it. Maybe bought that about 4 months ago, so the actual use of the Kranzle official cable, obviously much better. Main reasons I bought the other one is purely down to cost. So yeah, if you've got the extra money, put it towards the Kranzle one, because it's absolutely going to last you longer than the EVA generic brand one that I bought. Now, it is quite a heavy machine. It weighs 23 kilograms, so if you're lugging this about, there is a handle on the top of it. Not so much an issue for myself because I'm not mobile, but mobile guys, yeah, you might kind of put your back out lifting this in and out your van every day, so I maybe suggest finding a way of securing it down so it's more secure in your van and you don't need to lug it in and out. Again, with a 10 metre hose, shouldn't be really an issue when you're using it at home either. If you can set it up somewhere in your garage and just leave it plugged up, connected, then all you need to do, flick your switch and that's you good to go. Your wee switch on the top of this to turn it on and off is a fully sealed unit. Inside of it looks as if there's grease inside of it. That's obviously just to keep the switch inside lubricated from moving inside the little sealed unit. Other people as well might notice the front section, which is where this is. A couple of people I've seen on forums, they're thinking there's water leaking inside the gauge. It's not water, it's I think it's either fully transparent oil or alcohol. It's there to lubricate the gauge as the gauge moves round. But there's no kind of engineering wise I can see why that would be in there, but it's certainly not a fault. It's in all the Kranzle machines. It's just something they do. Again, I can only assume it's some type of oil to ensure that nothing in there kind of rusts or it's sealed. But yeah, it's a kind of weird gimmick of the Kranzles. Again, it's in the whole lot of them, so I wouldn't be too worried about that whatsoever. Well, I wouldn't be worried at all about it because it's obviously meant to be there for whatever reason. Hope somebody might be able to help me out with that. On the other side of it, and here, there's the electrical connection going in. Again, it's a fully sealed unit. All the connectors are absolutely rock solid and they're all watertight. This the electrical box, the underside of that is your hose input. You can obviously fit whatever type of hose input you want there. Mine pops in and out. The only reason it pops in and out is because I normally use the hose in the bottom end for filling up buckets, but again it's just a standard type of hose lock style connector and it goes on. This is the original Kranzle one, which was came with the machine and it's not needed replaced despite getting popped off and on 2 times a day and shows absolutely no signs of wear or tear at all, which I quite like. As I touched on earlier on as well, it's quite a noisy wee machine. It's got a wee decibel meter on, or a wee decibel label there of 91. It is quite noisy, so if you're going to be operating it in a kind of neighbourhood, or maybe if it's in your garage and your garage is integral, a lot of the sound might go through into the house. But again, it is a pressure washer. They're generally noisy by their nature, so yeah, it can't be too much of a criticism of it, but again, it's just something I want to mention. Now for the lance. The lance itself, again, same connector that connects onto the front of the machine. I'm not going to fasten that back up again because nobody wants to see that. There is a wee lock mechanism on the bottom end of the trigger, which just prevents that from being activated. If you've got kids running around whilst you're washing your car and you set it down, you might not want them to pick it up, aim it at somebody and turn it on because you get a bit of a nasty injury. So yeah, it's just really simple to put on and take off, but really easy. Again, it's the same type of thread lock that is on the hosing. It connects to the end of the lance there. I like the screw, personally I like the screw-on system. I like to know when I'm using the machinery and my equipment next to the customer's car that there is no way that that's ever going to come off and hit and or damage the customer's car. Might take a wee bit longer, but that's just a bit of peace of mind for me. Again, it fits onto snow foam lances, no bother at all. And there you go, that's it done. Didn't exactly take too long to do, and it's just that added peace of mind, security, that is not going to go anywhere at all. Now, one thing I touched on earlier on is flow rates. Flow rates is really important for getting that really thick snow foam that comes out the end of your lance. if you've got a low flow rate but really high pressure, you're getting a short pressure burst coming through and not a lot of water. When the water travels through, it creates a vacuum, and the hose that runs inside that soaks up and takes out. But if you don't have a huge amount of water flowing through that, the vacuum's small, whereas if you've got a huge amount of water flowing through, it's able to draw up so much more of your soap solution and fire it out. The downside to that is you can go through a huge amount of snow foam. Doesn't really bother me as much, and it really shouldn't bother you either, but it's just something to bear in mind. You can quite easily clear that bottle in no time at all. If you've got the pressure up full, you've got that opened up full and that opened up full, it will drain that in absolutely no time at all. I like it because I want the car to be absolutely lubricated. I want it to be covered in snow foam to try and lift off all the contaminants before I have to physically touch the car. But again, it's just something I want to touch on. Some people might view it as a negative using a lot of product. I don't, I view it as a positive. I want my snow foam to come out with shaving foam, not that I would actually know, but yeah, I want it to come out and really thick and cover the car really easily. Now the HD10 is designed for heavy trade use. It comes with forged brass housings and has got a 10-year anti-corrosion guarantee on it. All the parts as well can be serviced. Something breaks on it, it can be bought and ordered from Kranzle, even down to O-rings, and easy enough to get that replaced. That makes it rather economical when you think of the other cheaper pressure washers with plastic pumps, plastic housings, etc. Stuff that's difficult to get into. When something breaks, it tends to get binned and you buy another one. If you're having to do that every couple of years, things start to get pretty expensive when you're buying a £200 pressure washer every year. You could basically have bought this and have this for years and years and years. It'll outlive the other ones, so it does make economical sense to buy a more expensive unit, albeit you've got that initial outlay, but you should have it for years to come. One added benefit to this as well is it can pump up to 60-degree heated water. Now for my American friends, that's 60 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it doesn't have the ability to heat the water itself. However, if you've got an external source, then yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. You can put that through and that will aid the cleaning. Now I'll show you some footage of the pressure washer itself putting through the snow foam lands. Again, that's possibly about 2 inches of snow foam solution in the bottom of the bottle, the rest of it water, so it's not as if it's filled all the way up. It would give you an idea of what to expect. As you can see, it comes out absolutely fantastic. Nice steady flow rate, so the suds come out really thick and cover the car really easily. So, the pros of this: it's small, it's compact, it's really easy for mobile valeters. The pressure and the power it puts out is absolutely fantastic, along with the flow rate. Again, as we talked about, it's able to put out huge amounts of foam. The screw-on system as well, I find that really good. I would much rather have that than these pop, lock and turn things. I just want to know everything is secured. Again, that's personal preference. It's really easy to set up. Again, like most pressure washers, right enough, but with this, once it's on, it's set up, it's plugged in, that's it, it's good to go. It sits at the corner of my unit. This is the first time it's actually been away from that wee corner for about a year. So yep, it's really good for that. Again, the cons to me would be the weight of it. It is quite heavy if you're needing to lift it in and out of a van or your garage all the time. It needs quite a high flow rate of water, but you should be able to check that out before you actually buy it. So again, it's quite a noisy machine, but that unfortunately just the kind of nature of pressure washers. I just find this one a wee bit noisier than other ones. But is it enough to put me off it? Absolutely not. Would I buy another one? Absolutely. But I shouldn't need to, because if it breaks I should be able to replace all the parts. That is a huge con. So I would absolutely recommend this machine.